So I kind of want to dive into your character on High School Musical, the musical, the series. Can you
Yeah.
tell me your reaction when you found out you booked the part?
Yeah, so I was with my mom and it was kind of like a big well, actually I guess I was with my mom and my girlfriend and it was kind of like a big realization type of thing because obviously I had worked hard for it and I really really wanted it. But it was kind of one of those things where it's like, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? And then once we finally like got the call that I had booked the role, then it was one of those moments that was like, holy smokes, it's actually happening. And it was just kind of it was crazy because it's a life changing moment getting to be a part of a show like this that gets to recreate such an amazing or not recreate, but reimagine a new kind of version of the crazy good movies. So yeah, it was totally an honor to get to be a part of it.
Did you have a favorite movie of the originals growing up?
I did. I think everybody can maybe agree with me in the fact that the second one, where they are on their like summer break, like pool lounge hangout, is one of the more fun things because I don't know about anyone else, but I know I always wanted to go there and like be a part of it and go hang out. So I think I would definitely have to say number two.
I really like number three. I disagree. I'm a twin. My sister says number two, but I always say number three.
Oh, now see, I will say number three. I like the music at number three because one of my favorite songs is "Scream" when
Uh,
Zac Efron's like running through the school, and I just like it because it's like so intense with
for
the
sure.
lightning and it's just great.
So how would you describe your character, EJ?
Yeah, so EJ is the senior, one of the only seniors starting out, and he genuinely is a very very good guy with a good heart. But he kind of gets himself into trouble because he's very passionate about certain things, and one of those things is Nini in the show, and so he gets himself into trouble when he tries to go too far to either save something or to make something happen. And I think that kind of comes from his insecurities. I feel like he's a very insecure person who kind of hides behind this facade that he's put up. He was raised in a very wealthy family and is the captain of the water polo team and has great grades and whatever. So I think he's trying to put on this perfect persona that he is like the perfect person. But because he is so insecure at times, he just goes way too far with it.
For sure. Have you learned anything about yourself from playing your character?
About myself, I definitely have. I think something that I've definitely learned is, and it's a great lesson for everybody. Just like be honest, be truthful. When you start to lie and try to like create something, it just gets you into more trouble because you have one lie and then you have to create another lie to get yourself out of that other lie and you have to create. So I think just being honest with people honesty is the best policy. So definitely just be honest.
And I know you shot at the original East High where the original films were at. Did you have any like one location where you were really awestruck by upon visiting for your first time?
Yeah, so I have said to everybody that one of the craziest times to me was when we first pulled up at the school, and me, Joshua Bassett, who plays Ricky, and Olivia Rodrigo, who plays Nini, we all drove to the school together for the first time to see it like all together for the first time, and they we all pull up, and I don't get like super starstruck by by actors. Um, but I genuinely was like starstruck by a building because it's a school, but it's like such an iconic school from such an iconic set of movies that I was like starstruck by a building, which like how is that a thing? But it's so crazy because you see it in these movies and then you show up and it's like holy smokes, that's the school. So
Definitely.
yeah, I think definitely just like showing up at the school for the first time.
And I know to kind of go back to the originals, I know Lucas Grabeel makes an appearance in the series. Did you get to meet him, or what was that like? What was that like for you?
Yeah, no, Lucas was amazing. We actually had so he kind of does a song with Kate Reinders, who plays Miss Jin,
Oh,
and
I watched it last week, so no spoilers for me.
yes, yes, it was so fun. But we had, I mean, for that number, I think we had probably like close to a month of rehearsals for that, or a few weeks. And he was not there for the rehearsals until like the last couple days or the last day. And when he all showed up, or when he showed up, we all like were like, oh my gosh, that's Lucas. And I will say something about Lucas. One, he is one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my life. Two, that guy has got a voice, because he like actually sang live alongside his track whenever we would film. And his voice, because when we film the songs, if we're not filming them with live, like our live audio singing, because there are a lot of songs in the show that is recorded live while we're filming it. And when we were rehearsing, and then a couple takes we filmed of him with the track, his voice was so overpowering of the track. They were just like, okay, let's try a couple without the track so he can actually yeah, no, he's crazy, crazy, crazy talented, and just an amazing guy. So it was awesome to get to meet him.
Definitely. And you mentioned he has a great voice, but so do you. You have a few like musical numbers in the show. What was that? Did you have any musical theater background, like going into the project? What was that like for you?
Yeah, so I didn't have any musical theater background. I was in theater like in school growing up. So this show has kind of been my entryway into music. I grew up playing guitar. My dad taught me how to play guitar when I was younger. Um, but this is kind of the first time I've sang on a quote unquote professional level. So it's been really fun, and I've had great people by my side to kind of like help me through it, walk me through it, and kind of give me tips and tricks here and there. Because everyone on the show is so insanely talented, and they all have insane voices.
Hmm.
So it's been good for the singing side of things to kind of have this be my first singing experience. To have all these amazing people by my side, and then Steve Vincent, who does all of the music for most Disney stuff,
Hmm.
is insane, and he's so good at what he does, so it just makes our job easier with that. So yeah, it's been amazing.
Definitely. And besides, you have a billion sorries in the show. Do you have like another musical number that's your favorite?
I think Just for a Moment might be my favorite song. It's in episode 10, I believe. It's either 9 or 10. I think it's 10. But Joshua Bassett and Olivia Rodrigo wrote that song together, and they wrote it and performed it for the show, and it's so good. It's probably that one and Wondering are probably two of my favorite. Gosh, I don't know. I could name every song and say it's my favorite.
I
Yeah,
like Born to Be Brave,
honestly.
so they're all really good.
Born to see, they're all good. Born to Be Brave, Out of the Old's amazing.
Mhm.
Like Wondering, like everything's so good.
Definitely. And kind of leading into my next question, do you have a favorite episode that you filmed? I like the one where it was like High School Musical Choosical, where it's like the board game. That was
The
my
Thanksgiving episode. Yes, I think that one might be my favorite. Strictly because when we were filming that, like 90% of the scenes we filmed for that was in that living room, Ashlyn's living room on Thanksgiving. So it was one of the first episodes where almost everything was just all of us together, minus Dara. Obviously, Dara wasn't in that episode, but we missed her. We really missed her. But yeah, no, that it was such a fun episode because we were just, it was just all group scenes, which takes a little bit longer because you have more people that you have to like cover when you're filming. But it was just fun because it was one of the first episodes that almost the entire episode was just all of us.
definitely. And you mentioned it was mostly all of you guys in that scene. Do you hang out with your castmates when you're not working? How would you describe the dynamic between you guys?
Oh yeah, no, so when we first got to Salt Lake City, they had like 2 weeks of pre-production. And during those 2 weeks of pre-production, they basically had a giant conference room with a giant table in the middle. And they were like, okay, so while we're going through pre-production, we have to do like hair and makeup tests, and they cut our hair, and do camera tests and wardrobe fittings and different stuff like that. And they were like, during the 2 weeks of this, uh, we just need you guys here just in case we need you. So for 2 weeks, we were just chilling in this conference room. We had board games and card games, and So basically the first 2 weeks we knew each other, we
Mhm.
were stuck in a conference room together, just like almost forced to like hang out and like get to know each other. So it was kind of right off the bat we had that like friendship and almost like I mean I consider him family. So it's I mean we're all very very close with each other, and we definitely do. We go like hang out after we film and go to dinner or go to like someone's place and go to the hot tub or just hang out or whatever.
That's really great. That sounds like the ultimate bonding experience, being stuck in a conference room like that.
with Jenga and Josh's spicy Uno, it's amazing.
Oh, definitely. And then I know season 2 of High School Musical, the musical, the series, is gonna have like a Beauty and the Beast theme. Can you kind of tell us any more about that?
I can tell you that it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be bigger and better, and the music's gonna be so fun. And it's just there's gonna be more. I can't spoil anything, unfortunately, but I will say it's gonna be bigger and better and just more all around.
For sure. What do you hope to see from your character? Do you think he's gonna have a huge personality shift moving into the next season?
I hope so. On like a minuscule level, I obviously like I want him to stay like him and EJ stay EJ, but I hope he learned from his mistakes in season one and kind of shifts to be um, more of a genuine guy, and he always has been like a genuine guy, but like I said, he just gets himself in trouble a little too much,
Definitely.
and then gets a little selfish sometimes. So yeah, I hope to see a little bit more of the nice EJ and the good EJ that you kind of start to see towards the end of season one.
For sure.
That, and then also just I would like to see, I think it'd be fun to see like his family life, like you don't get to meet his mom and dad, who would also be Ashlyn's like aunt and uncle, and I don't know. I think it would be fun to kind of just see that and see like his home life, because you don't really see any of that.
That would really be interesting, actually. Now I'm kind of hoping that happens in series. And do you have
Yeah.
any upcoming projects besides series that you're working on, or just mainly this for right now?
The biggest thing definitely is this right now, and obviously with what's
Mhm.
going on right now with everything.
Mhm.
It's hard because kind of like filming and productions are all shut down right now, so there's not really a ton going on anyway. But I do have a small little project that I am working on with a close buddy of mine. So that is it's just a small little project that he's trying to pitch to different companies and see what he can do with it. So yeah, so other than that, no, mainly just High School Musical and trying to have the most fun we can with that.
Awesome. Well, I hope that small project works out for you. And lastly, where can fans find you on social media to connect with you and stay updated?
Yeah, I am 99.99% on Instagram. I hardly ever get on Twitter.
Same.
My Twitter is, I don't even, I think it's Matt underscore Cornett underscore. But my Instagram is just my name, Matt Cornett. So if you were to like, I mean, I am mostly on Instagram. So yeah,
Well, great. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. I really appreciate it and enjoyed
uh,
talking with you today.
absolutely. Thank you.
Stay healthy.
All right. Thank you. You too.
You too.